2008 was a tumultuous year for the economy. The housing market collapse created one financial crisis after another, and it often seemed as if the news could only get worse.
In 2008, as the global financial system was collapsing, the world was rescued, not by governments, not by investors, but by drug cartels. According to the United Nations, an estimated $352 billion in cartel cash became the only liquid capital flowing through some major banks during the financial crisis. That's right. When the system built by the world's most powerful bankers failed, it was drug money that kept it alive. Let that sink in. The same money that funded assassinations, kidnappings, and violence became the lifeline of the global economy. If you're already feeling uneasy, good. Because today, we're diving into the shadow network that makes our world run. The dirty money quietly holding everything together. Before we go deeper, hit subscribe. Not because it helps the channel, but because stories like this rarely see the light of day. The people who profit from this shadow economy don't want you to see how it works. The drug trade isn't just a criminal operation. It's an economic empire, one that stretches across continents and touches nearly every major financial system on Earth. The United Nations once estimated the global drug trade's annual revenue at over $320 billion, making it one of the largest industries on the planet. If the drug trade were a country, it would rank among the world's top 20 economies, ahead of nations like Switzerland or Saudi Arabia. And like any powerful corporation, it's run with ruthless efficiency. The Sinaloa cartel in Mexico, the Gulf clan in Colombia, the 'Ndrangheta in Italy. Together, these groups form a multinational network of smuggling, logistics, and finance. They have accountants, lawyers, chemists, and bankers. They operate like shadow versions of Amazon. Only their product isn't delivered in boxes, it's delivered in body bags. But here's the real shock. Their money doesn't stay underground. It's funneled, cleaned, and reinvested into our world. Into homes, banks, stocks, and companies. According to the UN Office on Drugs and Crime, up to 5% of global GDP, as much as $2 trillion every year, is laundered through legitimate institutions. A massive, invisible flood of dirty cash. And a huge chunk of it starts with drugs. That money pays mortgages. It props up real estate markets. It even stabilizes financial institutions when times get tough. Because when money is money, no one asks where it came from. To understand how drug money holds up the world economy, you have to follow its transformation from bloodstained cash into spotless capital. It's a process that moves faster and smarter than most governments can track. Let's start with the banks. In 2010, investigators discovered that Wachovia Bank had failed to monitor $378 billion in wire transfers from Mexican currency exchanges. That's nearly 1/3 of Mexico's entire GDP, and much of it was cartel money. Wachovia was fined, but no one went to jail. The bank later merged with Wells Fargo, and the story faded from headlines. Then came HSBC. A US Senate report revealed that HSBC's lax controls allowed cartels to launder at least $881 million in drug proceeds. Drug traffickers literally built custom boxes to fit the size of HSBC's teller windows so they could dump in cash more efficiently. One cartel leader allegedly called HSBC the place to launder money. The punishment? A $1.9 billion fine, a fraction of the bank's annual profits. No executives face prison. The message was clear. When the crime is big enough, the punishment is just another business expense. And this isn't ancient history. Global watchdogs estimate that over 90% of money laundering cases still go unprosecuted. The system depends on capital flow, and dirty money flows fastest. When you make billions in cash, you need somewhere to put it. Somewhere safe, valuable, and permanent. Enter real estate. In cities like Miami, London, and Dubai, cartel money has quietly fueled luxury property booms. An investigative report found at least $2.3 billion in dirty money laundered through US real estate in just 5 years, much of it tied to drug traffickers. Here's how it works. A cartel front company buys a condo in cash. The property appreciates in value. It's later sold or rented, and suddenly, the money's clean. It's no coincidence that some of the world's most expensive real estate markets keep rising even when locals can't afford to live there. Because behind the tinted glass towers and ocean view penthouses flows a river of shadow money. Cartels don't just invest in mansions. They buy ranches, farms, trucking companies, and factories. In western Mexico, cartels have infiltrated the avocado trade, controlling exports, extorting farmers, and branding their own blood avocados. Others launder money through cattle ranching, turning cocaine profits into herds, then selling the livestock legitimately. To the outside world, it looks like business. To the locals, it's survival. Because in regions starved for jobs, the cartel economy becomes the only economy. Today, cartels are going digital. They use cryptocurrencies to move and disguise millions in seconds. In 2023, US investigators seized $10 million in Bitcoin tied directly to the Sinaloa cartel's fentanyl profits. Others uncovered cartel operatives using Chinese intermediaries and crypto mixers to scrub drug cash clean. The technology changes. The crime doesn't. Money laundering has simply gone wireless. From nightclubs to car dealerships, resorts to concert promotions, cartels invest in legitimate businesses everywhere. These fronts generate real revenue and jobs, giving criminals a polished cover. Some cartel-backed promoters even run music festivals, mixing drug money with ticket sales and merch. Every time you swipe your card at a gas station, a restaurant, or a concert, there's a non-zero chance that a fraction of that transaction crosses paths with laundered money somewhere in the chain. The lines are that blurry. By now, one truth is clear. Cartel money doesn't just infect the global economy, it sustains it. In Mexico, cartels are the 5th largest employer in the country, with around 175,000 workers. Entire towns depend on their cash flow. When a cartel war breaks out, the economy collapses overnight, because everyone, from farmers to shop owners, loses their income stream. In Colombia, the cocaine trade alone generates roughly $15 billion a year, about 4% of national GDP. That's more than the country's construction industry. At its peak in the 1980s, cocaine money made up 70% of Colombia's export earnings. Drug cash built roads, soccer teams, and even financed local elections. It's not just a parallel economy, it's an invisible backbone, and it doesn't stop in Latin America. During financial downturns, laundered money stabilizes balance sheets and quietly props up liquidity. When the UN revealed that drug money may have kept the global system afloat during the 2008 crisis, few argued. They couldn't. The numbers were too large. The uncomfortable truth: our clean economy and the criminal one are no longer separate. They're two sides of the same coin, circulating endlessly through the same system. Where that kind of money flows, power follows. Cartels don't just buy influence, they build it. In Mexico, the former Secretary of Public Security, the nation's top law enforcement official, was convicted for taking bribes from the Sinaloa cartel. He was literally being paid by the criminals he was supposed to fight. In parts of Central America, drug money bankrolls entire election campaigns. Politicians win office with cartel funding, then repay the favor by granting protection, contracts, or silence. And even in advanced economies, the rot seeps upward. Major banks, real estate firms, and consulting agencies profit from the system as long as the cash keeps moving. No one asks too many questions, because to stop it would mean confronting the uncomfortable truth. Illegal money has become essential money. The global economy runs on trust, but it's also addicted to cash. And when legitimate capital dries up, it doesn't hesitate to take what's available, even if it's soaked in blood. That's what happened in 2008. And it's still happening now, just less visibly. Every laundered dollar that enters the system makes it harder to tell where legality ends and corruption begins. Drug money becomes investment capital, crime becomes liquidity, and the illusion of stability becomes the world's most dangerous lie. So the next time you see a bank posting record profits, or a skyline filled with half-empty luxury condos, ask yourself, who's really funding this growth? And what happens if that dark money ever stops flowing? Because if the world economy truly depends on dirty money to survive, then it's not just corrupt, it's addicted. If this story opened your eyes, share it. The more people understand how deep this runs, the harder it becomes to ignore. And if you want more stories that reveal the hidden machinery of power, subscribe. Because the world's not run by who you think, it's run by those you never see.